The same writer, literally within 24 hours, the same writer, Jennifer Rubin. Oh, she wasn't stopping at that. She wasn't stopping at that one. Why Sanders' money haul doesn't mean very much. Oh, but Jesus. Oh my God, you can't make this shit up, folks. You can't make it up. By the way, this is the same one who just said Bernie won't be shit second time around. Ooh, demonetized. Senator Bernie Sanders raised approximately $6 million in the first 24 hours after his presidential campaign announcement, but his Democratic opponents shouldn't be surprised or even concerned. Sanders is the only Democratic contender for 2020 who ran for president in 2016, during which he raised about $230 million. For someone with nearly universal name recognition, an extensive donor list, and a long run-up to his announcement, Sanders' haul shouldn't impress knowledgeable political watchers. Should Joe Biden announce, I would bet his 24-hour fundraising total will dwarf Sanders' total. A former vice president shouldn't have to lift a finger to trigger a flood of money. Oh my God, I can't even read it anymore because there's so much bullshit there. It's permeating out of the Washington Post chimney. If the Washington Post has a chimney, I don't know about that. So let's get this straight, okay? Let's get this straight. And I actually agree, Jank at the Young Turks, I agree with this analysis. The corporate media, they deem candidates credible based on how much money they could raise. So in general, if Joe Biden would have raised $6 million in 24 hours, the Washington Post's same Jennifer Rubin, who wrote 2 hit pieces on Bernie Sanders within 24 hours, would have been saying to call the election because obviously the people have spoken. Vice President Biden is going to win the nomination and fight to reinstate the Obama coalition and the Obama legacy. You would have gotten the same exact response if Cory Booker raised $6 million. You would have got the same exact response if Beto O'Rourke raised $6 million. You certainly would have gotten the same exact response if Kamala Harris raised $6 million. Oh my God, if Kamala Harris raised $6 million, they would have said, forget canceling the Democratic primary. Just cancel the election and put her in the White House, they would have said. So the corporate media always, yes, YouTube, I will forgive you for criminal corruption and criminal scamming. Well, the standard has always been, they're raising a lot of money, so that's the front runner. But when Bernie Sanders raises do you know how hard it is? I could tell you because I'm doing it. Do you know how hard it is to raise any money in media, in politics? Do you know how hard it is to convince, let's say, 100 people to donate? Do you know how hard it is to convince 1,000 people to donate? I've been literally breaking my back to convince people to sign up at $5 a month and $10 a month, or $20 a month, or $147 annually, statusquo.com/join. It's very hard. And Bernie Sanders obviously has a way bigger email list than I do. And obviously it's a different category, politics, media. But the point is, it is very, very hard in anything, politics, media, sports, entertainment, to fundraise. If any establishment-friendly candidate, if any pro-status quo candidate, if any Johnny-come-lately progressive, and that means Kamala Harris is a Johnny-come-lately progressive, Cory Booker is a Johnny-come-lately progressive, Kirsten Gillibrand is a Johnny-come-lately progressive, Julian Castro is a Johnny-come-lately progressive. If any faux progressive, I would call them, because these people aren't like real progressives. And you want to say, Jordan, stop with the purity. Well, how do I know that Kamala Harris is going to fight on day one as hard as Bernie Sanders would for Medicare for all? She wasn't fighting for it or even speaking about it when she was running for California senator. She wasn't speaking about Medicare for all. And at that time, when she was running for California Senate, it was up for a possibility. California single payer was up in the California House of Representatives. It passed the California House. It was blocked in the passed the California Senate, was blocked in the California House. Kamala Harris was crickets when she ran for California Senate. But all of a sudden, Kamala Harris, very, very big Medicare for all proponent. Come on, folks. It's so amazing how they move the goalpost. Because if it was any other candidate that's essentially wink, wink, I'm for Medicare for all, but like still dialing Wall Street. And, that's what they do. They pretend to be for certain things, but, they also give a wink, wink to the establishment, the status quo, the special interest that, I'm not really going to do these things. This is just talk to get elected. You know that. So it was always the gold standard. Whoever raises the most money is the front runner. But Bernie Sanders, well, why Sanders? Why Sanders money haul doesn't really mean anything. And they say RT is state-run media. The Washington Post is an embarrassment. More to the point, fundraising totals, I would argue, have as much predictive value as, say, poll numbers nearly a year before the Iowa caucus. Ask Ron Paul, $40 million raised in 2012, 0 primary victories. Or Jeb Bush, $155 million raised. Ask Hillary Clinton, whose fundraising prowess in 2008 didn't secure the nomination, and in 2016 struggled to defeat Sanders before losing to Donald Trump. In the general election, Clinton raised about $250,000 more than Trump. Money only gets you so far, and in some instances conveys an unwarranted front-runner status that contributes to the perception of underperformance if the candidate doesn't win in early states. You know what I hate more than anything? More than anything? Intellectual dishonesty. And by the way, folks, we got 329 people watching, only 236 likes, so 100 of you are asleep at the switch and need to wake the F up. What's so interesting there is they're equating Bernie Sanders raising $6 million at an average of $27. It was, again, $27 average his first day. They're equating it to Jeb Bush. What was the smallest donor to Jeb Bush? $1,000? Hillary Clinton didn't raise small dollar donations. She was getting money from oligarchs, plutocrats, fossil fuel execs, bankers, pharmaceutical executives, Silicon Valley, cable news executives. She wasn't getting a lot of small dollar donations. So this Washington Post hack is basically comparing a grassroots small dollar fundraising army, which actually does indicate electoral success, because you have actual numbers in the grassroots, not the plutocrats. There's more. Bernie is right. There's more of us than there are of them. They just have more money, but we have more people. But what's amazing is she's equating Bernie raising $6 million from actual people to Hillary Clinton raising money from big bankers, big fossil fuel, big pharma, and Jeb Bush. Please, oh my God! When I was at the Young Turks, I went to cover a Jeb Bush town hall in New Hampshire. Oh my God! It reeked of old money. He didn't. Oh my God! There were people there with so much money, and I'm not trying to be judgmental, but you could tell when people have money. And this town hall, they had a lot of money. These people. These were not struggling Americans in New Hampshire. If you remember, I confronted Jeb Bush there. He said, "Wait, are you a reporter?" Because I challenged him. So I'm not even going to read the rest of that Washington Post story because it's so ridiculous. What's the point of even reading it? His money haul doesn't mean anything.